Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. And so today I come to you with a really encouraging message, and it's going to also be a strong warning to many of us that you may be still in your wilderness period, right? Or you may have already entered into your promised land. But either way, this is a strong warning because there is a trap that the enemy loves to set, and there's things that he likes to plant inside of our mind. And he sets this trap because he knows that it causes people to miss out on big blessings. And so I just want to warn you of the trap of reminiscing. Yes, the trap of reminiscing. Now, let me clarify. It's not a sin to reminisce on the past in a good way, but it is a sin when you meditate on the past and you consider that it is better than than your current days that you are living in now. We are not supposed to dwell on the past and meditate and think, oh, these days were better than the days that I am in currently. It can be a big trap, and many people fall into it. And as they fall into that trap of remembering the former days, God will sometimes and oftentimes punish. Absolutely, yes, he will punish because of this. And so let's just go to the scriptures. It says, "Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this." This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 20. So it's illustrating that we should not be saying things like, last year was so much better, 5 years ago was better. Man, I remember how my life used to be. It's better than how I'm living right now. Absolutely not. It's a sin. It's a sin for many reasons because you're not considering that who God is, right? You don't have assurance in him. You're losing faith. That's why you're saying that, because you don't have assurance and hope that things will change for you. But God wants you to have assurance. As he says in the scriptures, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." He wants to give you an expected end. He wants to add blessings into your life, right? Peace and not of evil, an expected end. So we can have assurance that our former days are not going to be better than the latter end, right? And I did a teaching on that, right, about your latter days. And so I will post that down in the comments for you to look at. And so that will be really encouraging as well. So anyways, God doesn't want us reminiscing on the past, and he also doesn't want us complaining and murmuring about what happened in the days of old, because the Israelites did the same thing. They murmured and complained, and they began to consider the former days, and they missed out on blessings. In fact, many perished in the wilderness by this. We're going to go to the scriptures. And so here we are in Numbers chapter 13, and some of this I will just quickly try to paraphrase it so it's not so long. And so the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, "Send thou men, that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them." And so Yah had them send a man from each of the tribes, and we know there was 12 tribes of Israel, and to go spy out the land of Canaan. Go assess it. Go see what's going on. And so Moses, he sent 12 men to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, "Get you up this way southward, and go into the mountain. See the land, what it is, and the people that dwelleth therein." So he's saying, go and see the people that are living there. Who's inhabiting this place? Whether they are strong or weak, assess them, right? Few or many. And what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good. He's saying, go in and assess the land that they are living in here. Is it good or bad? Or what cities they be that dwell in, whether in tents or strongholds, and what land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not. And be ye of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So he's telling them, go in and assess this land. Look at the food supply. Look at their dwelling places. Look at the amount of people. Look if they're great or strong, mighty men. Go forth and look, search this out. And so the 12 spies went into the land of Canaan. It says, it tells us this in the word. And they went in and they even gathered, it said, they cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare it between two upon a staff, and they brought of the pomegranates and the figs. And then they returned back 40 days later. And so after the men came back, they gathered round, right? And they went and they came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And so they said, and they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is fruit of it. So they brought back the fruit of it and said, this place is flowing with milk and honey. It's a good place. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. So, and the Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, by the coast of Jordan. And so they were starting to give a negative report, because they're like, we see the children of Anak, these big men, and we see all of these different things. They start talking about the burdens, or not the burdens, but let's say they started seeing the obstacles, and they started mentioning all of the obstacles that they saw in this land. And Caleb stilled the people, because now this bad report that they're starting to give, we know it's stirring up the people. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So their fear, right, has now caused them to give an evil report, saying they're not able to win the battle. Right? They're looking at everything else. They're looking at the obstacles. They're looking at the Goliaths, let's say, so to speak. And they believe now that they're not able to overtake, even though Yah, who had already illustrated all these miracles in their life, had shown them. They come back with an evil report. And many people do this. Right? When the obstacles begin to come, they begin to lose faith in Yah. It doesn't matter what it is. They don't have true belief. They don't have true faith. And when we begin to murmur and give these evil reports, God is displeased, very displeased. This is what gets him angry, right? This is what gets the wrath of God going towards us, when we are murmuring and giving evil reports about what it is that we can and cannot do. Because remember, Jesus said, with man it be impossible, but with God all things were possible. So it's clear that many of these men had lost faith and did not believe in the capabilities of Yah anymore. Even though they saw all the miracles he performed, parting the Red Sea, claving water out of a rock, it didn't matter. They lost hope, right? So, and all the children, listen, so the congregation listening to the evil report and now ignoring what they also seen with their own eyes, ignoring Yah's power, began to do this that we just talked about. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return to Egypt? There you go. They're speaking of the former. They're speaking of the past. They're talking about, hey, it would have been better for us to just stay in Egypt. Whenever afflictions came, they would meditate, or they would think on Egypt and try to act like it was so great when they were crying out to Yah for deliverance. And so anyways, became faithless, absolutely faithless, and they started murmuring and complaining against God. And that is a grave sin, a grave sin. And so it's a really big sin. So now the Lord is mad. So the Lord says unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me? For all the signs which I have showed among them, I will smite them with pestilence and disinherit them, and make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. So I'm not going to go through everything that happened, but I will illustrate that Moses essentially had talked to God and said, hey, they're going to see that you came and consumed these people. I'm paraphrasing, and it's not going to look good. And so Yah listened, and he decided to be long suffering in a sense and have mercy. However, there was still judgment against those that had did all of this murmuring and complaining, right? And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word. But as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord, because all those men which have seen, they have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. Do you hear that? They're not going to see the promised land. They missed out on their inheritance. They missed out on their blessing because of all of their murmuring and complaining. And some people live their lives to complain. They don't understand that we must come unto, in all things we give thanks, for this is the will of Yah for us. Yes, even the afflictions. And do you know, when we are blessing Yah in the afflictions and praising him, that is he's joyful with us, he's pleased with us, and he's fighting even stronger for us, because you're going to bring a testimony out of this, because you have faith in him in spite of what you see. And there may be times where you may question God, not his ability, but the situation, and if you can make it out of, but don't say it. Don't say it. And just continue to pray and say, Yah, help me with my unbelief. Believe it or not, he's more than willing and capable and wants to help you pass the faith test. Each and every one of us will have our own faith test, but he's more than willing and capable. And when he understands that you may be doubting or limited, he has ways of coming to encourage you in him. He encourages you through his scriptures. He encourages you through his own way of speaking to you, and you should know those ways. But he is more than willing to help you pass the faith test. So we don't have an excuse when we have seen his glory, when we have seen the miracles that he has done. And if you haven't seen him do any miracles, the word is still, it serves as a testament to who he is. And if you are a believer, then you must believe it in his word, because it says that it was given unto us as an example. So we have that to cling to. Even if you haven't seen great glory yet, you've seen it in someone else's life that is a believer, right? We overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. There's somebody with the testimony about something that you may be facing. Look it up. Look into it and get yourself encouraged, but don't murmur against God. So, let's just go here. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me. But your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised. But as for you, your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness. So they had to spend that time, we know. Your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. So now, all of this nonsense that these people did, the murmuring, the complaining, and disrespecting Yah, he heard it. He said it came into his ears. And because of that, they are going to die in the wilderness. They're not going to get to see the inheritance. Their children will. And sometimes this is how Yah fulfills. And so, again, what will happen many times and how Yah has a way of keeping his word is he's going to pass it on to someone else. He's going to pass it on to your generation, right? Your children will see it, but you won't be able to see the promise. So don't play games like this. Don't. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it to complain. It's not worth it. You could be causing yourself to miss out on a really true and great reward from him. So just stay the course. And when you think to do it, just pause. You're going to have to take a pause. When you consider it, when it's coming into your mind, know that it's the enemy. And you're going to have to rebuke him in Jesus' name. And continue to meditate on what the promises are that he said concerning you. Because in doing that, Yah is pleased with you. He's pleased with you when you are keeping your faith and trusting him, no matter what it is that you are going through. So we got to be mindful of the things that we are saying, and just don't fall into that trap of reminiscing. Stop thinking on the former days. Consider what he is doing now, because Yah is doing a new thing, whether you see it or not. Many times you could already be in your land of Canaan, but because there's some giants, you just don't see it yet. But you're going to have to still just hold on to Yah's word. In everything, we must give thanks. Give thanks unto God, even for the hard things that you are going through, knowing that he is doing something in the tribulations. It's not just a waste. No, it's a testimony. And so, I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation that are gathered together against me in this wilderness. They shall be consumed, and there they shall die. And the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up a slander upon the land, even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague before the Lord. Do you hear that? But the men that had a different spirit, we know who that was. Caleb, right? And I believe Joshua as well. But Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which were of the men that went to search the land, lived still. See, they didn't give the evil report. They didn't have unbelief. They kept their faith. And so they got to go into the promised land. Out of the 12, only 2 out of the 12 had a different spirit. And you want to be that one. You want to have a spirit like Joshua and Caleb that believes in Yah, no matter what it is that you're facing, whatever giant is in your land, knowing that he is more than capable and able to destroy it. He is more than capable of and able to deliver you. You have to believe that. You have to believe it. See, and if you believe, you will see the goodness of God in your life, and you will see a testimony. I don't care what anyone else says. See, they brought back an evil report, and even the congregation of the people, many of them believed it, and they too died in the wilderness. So when someone comes to you with all their negativity, don't believe what they're saying. If that's the last thing you got to hang on, believe in Yah. Believe in him. Right? Believe that Jesus Christ is never going to leave you nor forsake you. Believe it. You will see the goodness of your God. For blessed is she who has believed, for there shall be a performance of those things told her of the Lord. So are you going to believe him? Who are you going to believe? Man or Yah? With man it be impossible, but with Yah concerning you all things are possible. And I pray that this message blesses someone today and steers someone on that right path, that they don't have to miss out on a promise. Have a blessed day, you all. God bless you. Bye.